Welcome back to the video clips of forecasting models. So now we realize that this trend is not enough to forecast the sales, quarter sales. Then what are the components of the quarter sales? So here trend can be measured by the centralized the moving average for, and we have also some seasonality and irregularity. So how do we extract these numbers, right? In the quarter sales. So here we'll calculate the trend again, the CMA4, and we'll develop this index, seasonal index from row seasoners, and irregularities. We'll extract irregularities from this equation, assuming that this quarter sales period T is comprised of the trend times the seasonality times the irregularities. And then Y divided by the sales divided by the trend times the seasonality is now irregularity, right? So let's go here. First, for each quarter, we calculate how much revenue varies from the trend. Also, these are the source of the row seasoners. So how this variation from trend is calculated depends on the form of seasonality. So first, here, let's calculate again the average, the same process of the average. Open the parentheses. Now here, the 4 quarters. Then close average. Let me zoom in. And then open the parentheses. And then again, here, another 4 quarters, starting from the previous other quarter and 2 more quarters. And then here, finally, we have the average trend. And then let's drag to the down. Again, this is not the forecast model yet, but we need to understand what the components are in the sales, right? And so that we understand if the company, which part is company is more, the rely on some factors. Next, the raw seasoners. Now, raw seasoners is now we can calculate based on the ratios. So we have 2 different types of seasonality calculation process. First is the additive seasonality. Second is multiplicative of the seasonalities. Additive seasonality, we use the difference from the trend with the constant level of seasonality. But multiplicative seasonality, we use the ratio to trend with the growing or shrinking level of the seasonality. So in this case, we'll use the ratio, the multiplicative of the seasonality. So let's calculate sales divided by now the trend. So this row seasoner is 0.847%, right? And then let's drag down to the bottom. So likewise, we can calculate the row seasoners. Once we calculate these row seasoners, now let's move to the seasonal index, the index part, so that we can get these components of sales. But the seasonal index we need to develop here in the separate here based on the factor calculations. So if we use here now the row of factors in the quarter 1 and quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4 with the average, right? The average, the row seasonal, the factors. So here we use the function, right? Average again, but we need to be more efficient, right? The if function, average if, will help you to get this, the average of each quarter to get the row factors, right? So here the range First range is C column, right? C column, the range C7 from starting from the C7 here, right? C7 to C38 up to here. And then let's fix first. Let's fix this. And then comma. Now, what you want to put is the quarter 1, which is criteria, right? One of criteria, quarter 1, 2, 3, or 4. So first one is quarter 1. And then let's move to the here row seasonal ratios here, right? So that we can calculate the average only from the quarter 1. And then let's fix this. Enter. So 1.332 is the average, the row factors in every quarter 1. Every quarter 1 out of this 40 row data. Then let's drag down. So we get this average row factors of each quarter. You understand, right? But we need to normalize these factors, assuming that the average of all or the sum is 1, right? The average of the row seasonals should be normalized so that if we can sum all this up, then this is 1, right? And give us the normalized seasonal the factors, right? Or the normalized seasonal the index. So how do we normalize that? Here we can just simply use this equation. Now the quarter 1 row factors can be now the normalized average. Again, here all the factors, right? And enter. Then let's drag down. Now by doing so, oops, I did something wrong. I didn't fix this, right? Or the factors, so that when I drag, it stays the same area. So likewise, I normalized, right? I normalized this. So if I calculate the average now of this, or now this is 1, right? If I just make the average of these row factors, I think it is not exactly 1, right? So that's why we normalize this, the seasonal index factors. Once we complete this seasonal index model, then let's apply this. It's very tedious when we just link, like for example, is quarter 3 now seasonal index is quarter 3. Where is quarter 3? Okay, let's put this, and the quarter 4 is this, and the next is quarter 1. Oh, it's very tedious, right? Then we need to right, to use our servant Excel function. So you might, some of you or many of you are familiar with the VLOOKUP function, right? Now the VLOOKUP function, and we want to look up. What do you want to look up? Right, first here, let's start it from, this quarter. We want to look up, and then comma. Now the table array. So let's go to here K5, right? K5 to all this table, right? So that we can match in each quarter to the normalized seasonal index, right? So, and then let's fix this. We are going to drag it down, and the comma, and index number here. Where is index number? Here, index number. We have For example, index number. If you go to the explanations of the index number, here is the column number table array from which the matching value should be returned. So how many columns do you have? Like 3 columns. Oops. Okay, let's go one more time. Here, we look up, open the parentheses, and the quarter, look up column, and then table array, everything, right? And then we want to fix this table, and then the index in the column number. We have 3 columns, right? And then you can put 3. Then, okay, so here, quarter 3, now we gather this, the index function, the normalized seasonal index. Then it's very easy to get all the seasonal index here in this column, right? So now we finished this too, right? Next is the irregularity. We cannot calculate irregularity independently. Why? Because it is irregular, right? But we can extract irregularity from this equation, right? The sales is equal to the index of seasonality, index of irregularity times the trend, right? So irregularity, we can calculate the irregularity here. The sales 7 divided by, now open the parentheses, now the trend E7 times G7. Here we just got this seasonal index, and then we got this irregularity index. So let's drag it to down. So we complete this irregularity. Finally, let's just double check if our the sales components they calculate accurately. And let's reconstruct the cells by multiplying all the factors, right? So trend first, E7 times G7 here, the seasonal index times irregularity index. So here, do you see here, we have the same, the cells reconstructed by the factors. And then before breaking down the factors, now we have the same numbers, right? So let's drag it down. So we have all the same, right? All the same here. So finally, we analyze these 3 factors that can explain by the trend. Do you see the trend now? This trend doesn't have the seasonality, but it explains the moving the average of the quarter sales. Seasonality, you can see this, right? Seasonality every year, every quarter, it has the regular seasonality, right? As you can see, this irregularity, it shows the different, the gap and the time, right? So like this, we can also see this irregularity. And then finally, these 3 factors will determine the quarter sales. Now we understood this seasonality and trend irregularity. Now, once we understand this, it's the time to now develop some the forecasting model, actual forecasting model. Now, see you in the next the video clips. Guys, bye bye.